Hey everybody, Cynthia and Denise here. We are starting off this week and we're just kind of going to talk about random stuff. The funny thing is that before every episode, we sit here and we talk for probably an hour before we ever get started on what was the topics that we said we were going to do. And last week we were like, wait, that was really good. We should have incorporated that in our show. And so right now, once again, we were doing it. We were talking about something and it was freaking hilarious. And so Denise goes, wait, hit record. No, wait, make the tape go back, put the pencil in it and put the cassette back.
Do y'all remember that? Back in the day when we were playing and we're like, oh, wait, or we get all jammed up in the recorder and you're like, oh, no. And then you had to very delicately stretch it out so you can reel it back in.
You know what? I was never wrong with the pencil because I felt like my pinky was got better grip with those little tabs in there. And so I would make my pinky raw and just
Yeah, I was a pinky kind of girl too with that, but and I love,
sorry.
And I have really strong nails, but I cannot grow my nails long to save my life. No way, no how, nothing. And as soon as they start to get long, all of a sudden they break. And I'm like, and when I talk long, I'm not talking long. I'm talking they get over the skin.
Oh, so mine get long, but I cut them recently. So I did Halloween little nails. And so I cut them down because I smashed my thumb and it broke way down at the quick. And there was I don't know, it looked dumb with a nubby and then the rest long. So I was like, all right, all of you are getting a fresh, clean start and we're just click, and cutting them all off.
I know. That is
white nails when they're short, I think they look kind of good. Kind of
they do, actually.
Well,
in my previous life, what some people don't know is I was a nail tech actually for 25 years. So I have gone through many seasons of length of nails. The one season I missed when as a nail tech was the coffin nails and the duck nails. And I'm kind of glad I didn't have to deal with that because that would have been a lot of work in my brain.
I have watched some YouTube videos on it because I'm not really a fan. I don't think it looks good on my hands, but the coffin nails, so I watched a YouTube on how they did them because I was just kind of intrigued. There's a lot of work that goes into that. And then nowadays to get your nails done, there's a lot of expense as well. But now I see why somebody getting a set done like that is, over $100, to get that out there like that. Yeah. Not my thing.
Well, yeah. Well, and it's kind of crazy because when I first started in the industry, I made really good money back in the day. And, I did a full set for $80 and we're talking mid 90s. That's the price I was getting because I was doing pink and whites and I went to school and I took more classes and, went to education and to shows and, all the things and, learned how to do all kinds of stuff. And then when the industry began to change and people, shops were coming in and they were charging $15 for a full set. And I'm just like, dude, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
And it made it really challenging. Now the industry is back to where it was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But, it wasn't sustainable when you're by yourself to try to support yourself on, making a quarter of what you used to make.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is why I do my nails myself now because it's not in my budget to be going every 2 weeks and having my nails done. I was telling a friend the other day that I'm going to be candid here. I haven't had a pedicure, a proper pedicure, since the beginning of June, and we're in the middle of October now. I've been doing, oh, you too? Yeah. So I've been I do the pumice stone thing in the shower and I put polish on myself and I trimmed up my own cuticles. But let's face it, I'm a big busted lady. I cannot bend all the way down like that and to really get in there. I have to come up for air every once in a while. So the quality of work that I've done on my own toes, it is subpar to say the least. And so, yeah, I was telling a friend the other day, I was like, okay, my poor little piglets, because I already have Flintstone feet, they already need all the help they can get. I'm not doing them any service. I need to just like buck up and go spend the
Done.
$575 plus tip and go get a proper pedicure. At least the last
Proper pedicure. Yeah, like let me just get through the rest of the year. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I haven't either. And and then I took my polish off and I would almost never have naked toes. And now I'm like, I talk about lack of attention span. I'm like, I can't even sit still long enough in the salon to get out without jacking up my polish. And that's exactly what happened last time. And I was so frustrated because I didn't have the color at home to fix it. I don't even know how in the I even dorked up the polish. I was getting ready to go on my cruise and I was like, well, here we are. Dorked up polish. Here I am. And I'm not going to say that's the story of my life because it's not, but at the same time, you're just like, and I didn't want to take it all off and I didn't want to go buy polish, take it all off and redo it all myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? That's where then like you get one of that little sleeve of nail decals and you just like stick it on.
Oh, I didn't think of that. That's a good idea.
I keep them on hand because, prior experience of I don't know if it's my sandal that messes it up or I know that I have messed it up like getting in my car and like rolling my foot into the car or
I think that must be how I did it because I also got a manicure that day. And so my toes had plenty of time to dry before I got anywhere. So I don't know what I did. Who knows? I might have bumped him on the chair while I was getting my manicure because I got my toes done first. Because I go to one of the gals that I used to work with. So, keeping it in the family, so to speak.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So we were talking earlier, about being, whatever our silly selves, to say the least. And so the other day we were talking about having more fun in our lives. That why do we take ourselves so seriously? And one of the topics we had discussed was weight and like why at our advanced age why are we still getting all twisted up over it? And like there are days where we're like, oh no, it's totally fine, I don't care, I am what I am, I just want to be happy, healthy. And then there are days where it's we're looking at ourselves in the mirror and we're mad that we don't have like skin like this or boobs like this. Yeah, oh my gosh, right?
We know.
Oh, I'm constantly with my neck, constant this, this thing. So,
well, and it's funny because my mom, when we were kids, like my mom was always like taking care of her skin and all that kind of stuff. So she was always with us girls about that, my sister and I. And then my mom, when we were in high school, went to work after our parents got divorced. And she worked in the cosmetic department in a department store here, which was Diamonds in Arizona. But now Dillard's bought them out a long time ago, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. So anyhow, so we always had access to really good quality products. So I kind of got a little spoiled because, back in the day, in the 80s and, they would call gratis. So it's like you'd sell so much and that was part of your bonus of, working and selling the product and stuff like that. So, and she would wrap multiple lines. So she'd get $100 and some here and then they'd give her testers of this over there. And so we always had all of this really cool stuff. And believe it or not, I did not wear
glue on.
Yeah.
The tiny lipsticks, I thought that was gold.
Yeah. No, we had the whole tester units, man, sitting on the bathroom counter. And you know what's wild about that? I did not wear makeup when I was in high school.
I wasn't allowed to wear makeup. I wasn't allowed to use a curling iron, wear makeup, a blow dryer, hairspray. No, I did not grow up in a cult or Mormon or anything like that. Like my mom was just very, very Hispanic and strict.
And you're not doing that.
No, I remember she was okay with painting nails, but you couldn't do red. Never a red lipstick if it was like something like if you were going to put on some gloss or something like that, it needed to be a neutral tone. And back in the 80s, like purple eyeshadow and blue mascara was all the rave. And I was like, I want some purple mascara. And my mom was just like, you're not getting mascara, period.
And you're like, what?
Yeah. So yeah, when it came time to finally I was just like, I was putting on makeup on the bus. My friend would bring her makeup bag. Yeah, and then so I put on makeup on the bus and then wipe it off on my way home. Of course, we didn't have makeup wipes back then. On the bus, like
Oh my God, right? Oh, I know. Well, that's like, because even at, at my school, like I'll see the students and, a lot of times, and there is the dress code. I mean, I know
yeah,
sometimes people wonder if there is, and there is, but, and I was like, and people would be like, I can't believe it. And I said, you know what? I said, having raised my own kids, and I said, and now working at a middle school, I said, chances are those kids either changed on their way to school because they either changed at the bus stop on the bus, what at a friend's house, whatever, or mom and dad, depending on what they do for a living, could have already left for work. Like if mom's a nurse or something,
yeah,
she might, or dad, whatever, like they could already be gone to work, at
yep,
6 because the kids don't, kids can get there as early as 7.
yeah,
So mom and dad might have already been gone, not having any concept of that, they didn't wear the big 3 times too big sweatshirt over their whole entire being.
yeah, 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 yeah. I know. There's always ways to kind of like, whatever, sneak it or what have you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember coming home one day after trying to like get the eye makeup off, and my mom had said to me, I know you're wearing mascara. And I was like, no, I'm not. And she said, you look like a raccoon when you come home from wiping it off. And I was like, oh, okay, so just leave it on. And she's like, stop wearing it.
Oh, that's not what I was going for.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. Like my mom didn't let me shave my legs until I was a sophomore in high school. Mind you, I'm half Puerto Rican. I am a fuzzy little creature. And so I was constantly getting teased. I lived in Northern California, so like it was warm. I went to wear shorts, whatever, skirts, skirts. And I remember getting teased so bad on the bus about having hairy legs and why didn't I shave? And I was just like, because my mother will beat me with the freaking chancla if I shave my legs.
Chancla. Not the chancla.
The chancla. Yeah, the chancla, the wooden spoon, whatever was nearby.
But when the chanclas go flying, they actually could land.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. And back in those
The wooden
days,
spoon.
the chancla had a wooden sole. It wasn't like just plastic.
Yeah, wasn't like she was throwing a Javiana at you.
No, you could catch that. You could hear it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, like, I mean, there's my mom today, and Denise, you have met my
Oh, I have met your mom. She's darling.
cutest little thing ever.
Yeah. She is. I'm like, she was so pleasant and so cheerful and funny. And
Yep. That's
that's amazing how we mellow out as moms when our kids go grown.